Former President Donald Trump compares himself to Nelson Mandela, and in related but unrelated news, his daughter is going to testify against him. Hell of a thing. Let's put up the actual man, Nelson Mandela, the iconic leader, transformational servant who was actually persecuted under an oppressive government. The face says it all. Nelson Mandela is basically saying, come on, man. Come on. Let's hear what Trump had to say. Here it is.
But we don't get scared. We don't get scared. I'll tell you what. I don't mind being Nelson Mandela because I'm doing it for a reason. I'll tell you what. I don't mind being Nelson Mandela because I'm doing it for a reason. I'm doing it for a reason.
You know, the people who support Trump saying he doesn't mind being Nelson Mandela don't even like Nelson Mandela. Irony is unreal. The insanity of it all. So in a crowd, in front of a crowd, Trump, who has been, in a heap of legal trouble, was addressing the wave of criminal and civil charges against him. During the summer, he was booked at the Fulton County Jail in Georgia for his alleged effort to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in the state. Separately, he is in hot water in connection to storing classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate and for making hush money payments, including to former adult film star Stormy Daniels, to be quiet about their alleged affair during his campaign in particular. Trump's Mandela comments were met with applause from the crowd. Mandela, the beloved former president of South Africa, Nobel Peace Prize recipient, was imprisoned for nearly 3 decades for his fight against Africa's apartheid system. A book released in 2020 by Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, revealed that he allegedly once referred to Mandela as, quote, no leader, according to CBS News. Political leaders in South Africa responded to the comment reportedly referring to Trump in this way: divisive, misogynistic, and disrespectful person ever to occupy the office of the presidency, end quote. People on social media blasted Trump for putting himself in the same category as Mandela. Quote, Nelson Mandela was known for his efforts in reconciliation and his grace and lack of bitterness as leader of South Africa after being imprisoned for over 25 years. This was the former Arkansas governor, Asa Hutchinson. Donald Trump has no claim to his legacy, one user on X said. Outrageous. The fact that Donald Trump is comparing himself to Nelson Mandela perfectly illustrates his level of delusion. Another X user reacted with, quote, since Trump likes to compare himself with Nelson Mandela, maybe he should be thrown into a 7-by-foot prison cell for 27 years, end quote. One of the dynamic transformational qualities of Nelson Mandela was his ability to actually progress beyond revenge. Once he was the person the country wanted, and it was inevitable that he was going to be the leader after the insanity that came against him for decades. He could have easily ordered every person who plotted, even thought about plotting against him, he could have ordered them to death. He had grace. He wanted the nation to heal. There's more. Put her up. She's going to testify against the daddy. This is going to be an interesting saga. Per BBC News, Ivanka Trump will testify in a business fraud case against her father and her brothers. A New York judge has ruled on this, contrary to the wishes of her legal counsel. She had previously sought not to take the stand, arguing that she actually moved out of the city, stepped away from the Trump organization, but the judge said she still maintains ties to Trump businesses and to real estate in New York. He has already ruled that Donald Trump inflated the value of his properties to secure favorable loans. You know, if you do that, that's illegal. You go to jail, you get prosecuted. He does it, we'll see. All right, Jackson, thoughts here.
I'm just continuously fascinated by Donald Trump's endless campaign of victimhood. And that's just how he operates. And that's a lot of how he's gotten his way throughout his life, is he's engineered things so that, he'll get you in trouble some type of way unless he gets his way. Like, I'll tell on you, I'll tell my daddy, or whatever it may be. And that's transpired all the way through to now, except, now he has 91 felony charges. He's somebody who can't shut his mouth. He can't stop breaking gag orders. He's in a position where he has so much trouble, and all of it's of his own doing. Some of it being unnecessary. He didn't need to take those classified documents home with him and stash them next to the toilet. He had a year and a half to give them back. He didn't do it. So you just got to put yourself in his shoes, as difficult as that may be. It's just this never-ending nightmare psychosis where, how can he sleep straight? He doesn't. He tweets at 5:30, 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
And it's getting longer and longer and longer. His problem, he has many of them, and the Republican Party has many problems. So one of them being is that the election is in a couple of months from now. And I'm not even just saying about his chances going up against Biden, but he has just this much more time to create chaos. And it's possible that all of the co-defendants in Georgia may flip against him. Why wouldn't they? And all of it is unnecessary. So it's just, you can't help but watch.
Yeah, man. And I got to tell you, I received inside information from a source of mine in Georgia who said really 8 people total. They have already flipped on Trump, 6 for sure. So you got 2 more that's coming out very soon, and possibly another 2. The paperwork simply has not been finalized, but they have signaled we are ready to plead guilty and testify against Donald Trump. We shall see how that develops.